produce all documents, files, records, videos, and images related to the investigations and prosecutions.
The Epstein saga is currently a never-ending drama that provides us with one episode after another. The DOJ's release of the entire Epstein file, not just a portion of it, is the most recent in a string of startling revelations. This current release isn't hiding anything, so if you thought the previous files were astounding, you should probably hold on. Everyone is stunned by one specific name that was mentioned. People are now questioning whether Michael Jackson was truly as innocent as many thought after the renowned King of Pop was brought up. It's not the only surprise, though. Why is the name of a certain disgraced music mogul missing? Ellen's potential connection is also being discussed. Crazy, huh? However, Jim Caviezel has been alerting the public about Epstein for a very long time, so he is not shocked by any of these developments. This fresh DOJ release seems to have a lot to uncover. Now let's watch the video. One of the biggest collections of evidence in a criminal case was made public by the Department of Justice. Hundreds of pages are not what we are discussing. No, we are discussing more than 5.2 million pages of investigation documents, images, films, and emails pertaining to a single individual, Jeffrey Epstein.
The latest release from the DOJ is the biggest disclosure of documents they've ever made related to Jeffrey Epstein, but now officials say they're done. On Friday, the Justice Department releasing more than 3 million additional files related to now-deceased convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
The goal of this document is to offer previously unheard-of transparency so that everyone is aware of the procedure. Everyone on TikTok has suddenly turned into a detective since the documents were made public, attempting to make connections between identities and details or unearth secrets. Celebrities, politicians, royalty, and nearly everyone deemed prominent in the globe were named in the texts. However, certain celebrities have drawn more attention from fans than others. The whole story now revolves around celebrities like Diddy and Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres has been dubbed Hollywood's most prolific insider because she established her career on being compassionate and spreading joy to everyone. Given how frequently her name has allegedly been associated with conversations about the Epstein files, most individuals were not surprised by her name. As if that weren't enough, Ellen abruptly made the decision to relocate to England at the same time as the Epstein files attracted fresh interest. This person spent her whole life in Hollywood. Every one of her pals is present. Everything connected to her job is there, but she abruptly made the decision to move to England. Some say that if that doesn't look strange, then what does? A lot of people also mention Ellen's friendship with Diddy. She even called him Cuddle McSnuggle Stuff. She was frequently spotted with him and went to his gatherings. Therefore, some people question if it would have been odd for her to spend time with Epstein if she could have spent time with someone as controversial as Diddy.
Diddy, come on out. He's...
Now that the DOJ files are receiving more attention, and Ellen's name is coming up in conversations, a lot of fans are wondering if investigators will ever examine more closely. Regarding Diddy, there is still one unanswered question. Does the Epstein file contain his name? Because of the similarities between the accusations made against Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy, many people think it's a legitimate question. Imagine how shocking it would have been if Diddy's name had also appeared in the Epstein documents, given that he is already dealing with his own legal issues. That prospect was anticipated by many. Sean Combs will be back in court today for a post-trial hearing. The court is formulating a sentencing schedule that's supposed to happen in October.
Combs will be back in court today for a post-trial hearing. The court is formulating a sentencing schedule that's supposed to happen in October.
This raises an even more significant query. How come the files don't contain Diddy's name? Diddy's name was the one that many people anticipated seeing. However, His name never showed up as many had anticipated, according to the materials under discussion. In actuality, there is no proof that he ever met Epstein during Epstein's lifetime. But get ready to be much more shocked if you find Diddy's absence unexpected. Everyone was talking about Michael Jackson when his name came up in conversations about the files. Yes, that pop king, Michael Jackson. His supporters instantly stood up for him and advised others not to draw hasty judgments. It's crucial to keep in mind that a person's name appearing in records related to an investigation does not necessarily indicate that they visited Epstein's island or committed any wrongdoing. During a time when few people even knew who Jeffrey Epstein was, it was Epstein who asked to take a picture with Michael Jackson, according to reports presented by Jackson's fans. Later, a photo of the TW. Omen appeared online again, but Michael Jackson's former bodyguard defended the late singer by saying that Jackson had been looking at houses when a realtor asked if he could snap a photograph with Epstein, who lived nearby. Michael Jackson frequently talked about shielding children from exploitation, as anyone familiar with his life would attest. His defenders contend that it goes against all he openly stood for to insinuate that he intentionally associated with someone like Epstein. Many fans cite songs like They Don't Care About Us as instances of Roosevelt speaking out against injustice. If Roosevelt were living, he wouldn't let this be. He even built Neverland as a place he thought kids might enjoy securely.
If Roosevelt was living.
Michael Jackson frequently expressed his desire to safeguard children and give them a secure environment. Following a resurgence of interest in the DOJ documents, particularly when media outlets mentioned his name, his supporters promptly reminded people of it. Social internet was inundated with fans who said that Michael Jackson shouldn't be condemned just because his name was listed in documents. However, there were other public figures than Michael Jackson who cautioned people about predators such as Epstein. Jim Caviezel is another. You've undoubtedly seen the actor deliver moving speeches against child trafficking and atrocities against children if you've spent any time online.
The Innocent is taking real actions to prevent child crimes right here in the United States. This is an organization that actually intervenes by training the men and women who have the legal authority to stop predators and traffickers, actual law enforcement officers. Now, what makes the Innocent different is simple. Every single dollar funded by the people stays right here in the United States. Every instructor is an active duty or retired law enforcement officer with real experience investigating these crimes. Most importantly, the Innocent takes a proactive approach, and that's critical. See, we have to get ahead of these crimes before more children are harmed. And while most departments get lost in red tape, the Innocent cuts right through it, providing advanced training and equipment completely free to law enforcement. So many of us know these crimes are happening, and it's increasing by the day. There are very few resources specifically funding the prevention of child sex crimes, which is why it's so important that we, the people, fund these specific tools and this training in our communities, and that we do it now. So I'm asking you, please follow theinnocent.usa. Share this message. There's a long list of officers and agencies just waiting for this training.
Jim Caviezel committed a significant portion of his public platform to discussing crimes against children, when many Hollywood celebrities concentrated on other public causes. He even acted in movies about saving kids from human slavery.
Jim Caviezel plays the main character Tim Ballard in The Sound of Freedom, and Eduardo Verástegui, who is the producer of The Sound of Freedom, also stars in the movie as well. And the movie is based on the true story of Ballard, who is a former government agent turned freedom fighter who rescues dozens of children from human trafficking.
Tim Ballard, a former government agent who saves children from traffickers, is the subject of the film, which is based on his true experience. Parts of the film were compared by many viewers to Jeffrey Epstein's notorious island. Audience members reportedly yelled "Epstein Island" during a certain scene during one screening. Jim Caviezel has maintained that Epstein's Island might not have been the only place where these atrocities took place, speculating that there might be more that are yet unreported.
At the end, I was asking about the movie, and I asked him about that one particular part where everybody's talking, and they all cried out Epstein Island. And I went, oh, okay. Now I understand what we're up against.
Wow.
Epstein Island isn't the only island out there.
Since fresh material keeps coming to light, and people are still attempting to piece everything together like a massive puzzle, it is obvious that the Epstein investigation will continue to make news for a very long time. However, what are your thoughts? Was Michael Jackson attempting to warn the world in secret? Did Ellen DeGeneres actually have anything to do with the Epstein scandal? And why, in your opinion, has Diddy's name not surfaced as many had anticipated? Remember to subscribe and share your opinions in the comments section below. As more documents continue to surface, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. Every new release raises fresh questions, fuels new debates, and keeps the world searching for answers. Whether these latest revelations change public opinion or simply add more mystery, only time will tell. What do you think about everything you've heard today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.